Good evening, I'm Megan Phillips.
And I'm Andy Ambrosius. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision.
A UWM student is arrested during class, and it's all caught on video. Find out what led up to this outburst.
Then, change is coming to campus, and it could cost you $25. Why a former Green Bay Packer is weighing in.
And a Grammy Award-winning artist shares her talent with a group of UWM music students.
All of this and more next on Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Another week, another debate about action by UWM police.
First, it was pepper spray at a tuition protest. This time, it's an arrest made in a classroom.
As Panthervision's Katie McCormick reports, a video shot by a UWM student is becoming quite a hit on YouTube.
Bassett doesn't know why.
I do not know what it was inside me that just made me record it, and it's just so weird.
But she instinctively started shooting video with her iPhone. It all started when a student became upset over an exam grade.
More and more uncomfortable and angry. You're making me continue to do this. When I dropped this a long time ago.
A bunch of us kind of said to her, will you just please leave? You're making us uncomfortable. And then it was, I'll come over and then smack you, you know, I'll beat you up basically. So she was threatening the rest of the class. And it just spiraled out of control.
People who saw the YouTube video didn't see the whole story.
What you can't see and can hardly hear is when campus police arrived, they stood just outside the doorway, so they hadn't even entered the classroom, and asked her like 3 times, you need to come with us.
And I'm not going nowhere, so you're going to have to carry my ass out.
UWM police arrested the 24-year-old senior and charged her with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest.
We got a lot of feedback, most of it in support of what we did. A lot of people understand that there were 20 plus other students in that room that were all disturbed by her behavior. And everybody in that room has a right to an education or a right to being taught in that class.
Anna's video is gaining a lot of attention from Milwaukee and beyond. UWM student Noelle Steffen is seeing the video for the first time.
Campus police should have been called, but I don't think she should have been cuffed and stood on, and I don't know, it was a little dramatic.
Anna's video comes on the heels of the tuition protest, which received national attention. Anna says her footage is also getting the same kind of attention. She is getting calls from several networks. In Milwaukee, I'm Katie McCormick with Panthervision.
It's so funny, but it just is.
The student arrested is Robin Foster, and her behavior is being reviewed by the Dean of Students. Panthervision tried to contact Foster without success.
More fallout from the UWM protests as the Students for a Democratic Society are in the process of planning a public meeting with Chancellor Santiago. SDS is part of the Education Rights Campaign. The group is addressing the lowering of tuition.
We don't want tuition to keep rising. Tuition has more than doubled in the last 10 years. And because we believe education is a right, we think that the university administration is going about the wrong way to addressing these problems.
The public meeting with the Chancellor is one of the results of the tuition protests at Chapman Hall earlier this month. The answer to the tuition issue may lie with the federal and state governments.
There is in providing increased state funding and federal funding to higher education, and not building new infrastructure on campus before investing in students in financial aid.
The public meeting with the Chancellor will occur later this semester after spring break. A student association resolution about the protests has now been nullified.
Just days after the protest, the Student Association passed a resolution denouncing the actions of demonstrators. SA Speaker of the Senate Kyle Durstein called for a voice vote, and that led to a bit of controversy.
State so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Nay. The ayes have it.
Some senators questioned the results of the voice vote. Durstein has now nullified the vote, saying that he discovered a conflict in the SA bylaws that voids the resolution.
You'll be paying more tuition starting next semester. Nothing new there. But what is new is what it's going toward, a new campus basketball arena. The UWM's men's basketball team currently plays at the U.S. Cellular Arena, but as I found out, that's going to change. 16 games played, $3 earned per ticket. $500,000 a season to rent the space. Numbers that reflect how much money is lost during the Panther basketball season.
It was probably September or October where we really came forward and said, listen.
Numbers that made the Student Association and the athletic department realize it was time for a change.
Let's build something on campus. Let's make our campus facilities meet the requirements for the Horizon League so that we can do what we need to do here on campus.
Another number that they saw during this plan, $15 million. The amount of money it will cost to get this project moving. A huge number respectively, but if it comes from every student's fees, it seems to go down substantially.
I don't think it's really that much of a difference or of a big deal because, I mean, it's only $25.
Down to $25 a person.
It's like a quarter of what a book costs these days, so I guess it's really not that big of a deal.
Currently, the students fill about 200 of the seats during home games, but UWM Athletic Director George Kuntz feels that a campus-built arena would change that.
Everything, but you know, we are able to have a place on campus. I think that's going to really jump up to maybe 1,000, 2,000 students per game, which would be awesome, be a great environment.
Currently, the plan is to either add on to the Klatsche Center or to build a standalone arena somewhere on or around campus. If the decision passes to simply remodel the Klatsche, they'll expand the west wall out towards Downer Woods. But no matter where they decide to erect the new arena, one thing is for certain. It will be a lot easier for campus residents to go from students to cheering fans. In Milwaukee, I'm Megan Phillips for Panthervision. The plan still needs approval from the Board of Regents in June to continue the project. A man pleads guilty on Friday to participating in the homicide of a UWM student. Derek J. Thomas faces up to 35 years in prison for his role in the murder of Nathan Potter. Potter was shot outside his River West apartment this past July. Thomas will be sentenced in the Milwaukee County Court in April.
The man charged with sexually assaulting a UWM student is pleading not guilty. Joel Hoffman of Oak Creek is charged with 9 felony counts. Charging include kidnapping, burglary, first and second degree sexual assault, child enticement, and stalking. If found guilty on all counts, Hoffman faces a life sentence. He's scheduled to be back in court next month.
One UWM student is not only working to receive his civil engineering degree, but working to improve the environment as well. Panthervision's Eddie Hamilton has the story.
Like many students, he goes to class right here.
I'm an undergraduate student. I'm a senior working for a civil engineering degree.
But unlike many of those students,
I am a bike racer. There's a cycling club at UWM, which is a club sport. We travel to other universities around the Midwest.
So how long has he been doing this?
So probably like 10 years.
When he's not outside in the environment, he's inside, working to improve it.
I get paid up to 20 hours a week. Pretty much anytime I'm not in class, I'm here.
Kyle works with UWM assistant professor Jason He. They're working on creating a microbiofuel cell.
The microbiofuel cell generates energy while purifying drinking water.
I think this is a perfect subject for this current issue is water, energy, sustainability, and environment. Basically, we mix everything together. And we treat wastewater, we clean up the environment. And we generate bioelectricity as a bioenergy.
What creates the energy?
So it's kind of a bacteria making electricity.
Jason says the fuel cell will have a huge impact.
And this way we can maintain the community in a sustainable way.
In Milwaukee, I'm Eddie Hamilton for Panthervision.
The National Science Foundation assisted in funding the Microbiofuel Cell project.
UWM officials are in talks with schools in South Africa to create new academic research partnerships. An official says UWM's expertise in water science is a good fit for African nations who have a growing need for fresh water to use for drinking and irrigation. UWM already has some partnerships with South Africa's University of Pretoria, but officials say the new ones will help UWM, the city of Milwaukee, and the state. Coming up on Panthervision, why some students traded their winter jackets and boots for Halloween costumes.
And later, it's the first week of spring and a team is taking to the diamond. But they aren't all baseball players. We'll be right back.
It doesn't stop when you reach a certain age. We're all of us learning, even now.
Big Bird.
You see something in a person's face and see all they struggle to learn. It could be we are here solely to remind each other what must not be missed or ignored, but celebrated. When do we stop learning? Maybe never.
In Chinese medicine, that the body has to move.
University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Visit uwm.edu for information.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Applications at Wisconsin universities are up 10% over the last year. The UW college system enrolled a record of almost 14,000 new and returning students in the fall of 2009, which is a 4.6% increase from last year.
More enrollment, more transportation issues. But there's a little-known program on campus that can zip you from point A to point B. Panthervision's Jenny Piron has the story.
If you are sick of changing your schedule around just to make the bus on time,
they should figure something out so that the buses are always on time. Every 15 minutes is usually every 20, every 30 on the weekend.
and need to get somewhere that is just too far to walk, then UWM may have the solution to your problems. UWM Student Housing is teamed up with Zipcar. This service offers students and staff an alternative mode of transportation that is only a click or call away.
But how are people reacting to this new addition to UWM?
It's like $7 an hour, but I don't have that kind of money to even call it, but I don't see students using it.
For a rate of $7 an hour or $60 a day, one of these energy-efficient cars could be yours. They include gas, insurance, and the first 180 miles free. Cindy Wirtz, Auxiliary Service Financial Manager, put the bid in to get Zipcar at UWM.
We have, I looked, about 350 members. That would be students, faculty and staff, and community members. And I've heard nothing but positive reaction to the service.
Although this service is convenient, many students continue to wait for free transportation. In Milwaukee, I'm Jenny Piron for Panthervision.
Some students prefer to wait for free transportation.
And they just might be lucky enough to wander on the bus of Lester Burns.
Panthervision's Jeff View explains.
Students who ride the Veterans McKinley U-Park bus know his voice.
Kramer! Anybody? Oh, yeah, okay.
But few know his name. For 10 years now, at the ripe old age of 79,
Hold it.
Lester Burns has been shuttling students to UWM.
Drive. Get him there and get him off.
Actually, he retired a while back, but that didn't last long.
My wife was giving me so much work to do and not paying me for it. So I said, if I got to work, I'm going to get paid.
He was retired for 2 months. Matthew Kent is glad he changed his mind.
Oh, he's always a nice guy. I mean, he says hi and have a nice day.
Mitchell Hall? Nobody?
Lester is in his office from 6:15 until 1:45 during the week.
Engelman? Nobody?
Here at the Parking Security Office marks a start and stop point for all Veterans McKinley buses headed to UWM.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's the UC, they all answer.
Yeah.
That's their leg.
In Milwaukee, I'm Jeff View for Panthervision.
Lester is in his 26th year of driving buses and says his biggest pet peeve on the road is when drivers cut him off.
Spring break is here, and the Norris Health Center is providing tips for your safety. If you're leaving town, have proper medical insurance in case of an emergency away from home. If you're on medication, make sure you have enough for your trip. Buckle up and take turns behind the wheel on a road trip if you're going somewhere warm. Drink water and stay hydrated. Also, avoid sunburn by applying and reapplying sunscreen. Norris is also encouraging those leaving town to get the H1N1 vaccine. Finally, if you're staying home for break, have fun with your friends, but come home with one another and look out for each other. Well, we're now officially in the first week of spring.
Brock Burgard is here from UWM's Atmospheric Sciences Department with a look at weather. Brock, is it going to feel like spring anytime soon?
Well, it's going to warm up a little bit compared to what we saw this weekend, where we saw a little bit of snow and temperatures in the 30s on Saturday. It was quite a change. At the end of last week, we saw temperatures in the 50s and 60s, then we crashed into the 30s, but it looks like we will be making a slow return to the 40s and 50s, which is right around average for this time of year. Current conditions in Milwaukee right now, we're at 41 degrees, the dew point at 27. We're looking at sunny skies, and the barometric pressure is at 30 inches, even and holding steady as an area of high pressure is overhead. And for the rest of today, look for mostly sunny skies. We'll warm up to 48 here in Milwaukee, a little warmer inland, with no chance of precipitation with that area of high pressure overhead. Taking a look at morning lows this morning, everyone dropped into the 20s. The exception was here in Milwaukee. We dropped down to 32. That was due to some northeasterly winds that brought slightly warmer air off the lake. Otherwise, cooler off to the north and west, 22 in Rhinelander and 21 in Eau Claire. And with lots of sunshine, highs will warm up nicely today. Into the 50s for most spots, although we will stick in the 40s across the eastern portions of the state. See Green Bay 49, Oshkosh 49, 40 in Milwaukee. But as you go out to the western portions of the state, approaching 60, 57 in La Crosse and 56 in Eau Claire. Now as we make our way into tonight, look for those mainly clear skies to continue. We'll drop down to around 32 degrees with light northeast winds. And then as we head into tomorrow, look for the mostly sunny skies to continue. As winds turn to the northwest, everyone will warm nicely into the mid-50s. We'll call it 54 after a morning low of 32. And for Wednesday, we'll see some morning clouds, but otherwise we'll see mostly sunny skies by the afternoon hours and a high of 48. And then taking a look at your extended forecast, it looks like we'll see a lot of sunshine for Thursday and Friday as temperatures hold in the 40s, a little cooler on Friday. And unfortunately, the clouds do increase for the weekend with a chance of a little bit of rain on Sunday as highs hold right around 47 to 48, which is where we should be this time of year. So luckily, no snow in the forecast. Let's hope we're done with that so far.
So what you're saying is spring is pretty much here.
Pretty much. Keep our fingers crossed.
I'm just excited for summer. Well, for some, Halloween can't come soon enough, so a group of UWM students geared up in costumes a little early. DeAndre Dawsey has the story.
You may think this is an ordinary day in the Union, but you'd be mistaken. People of all ages and attire came together for the 3rd annual Anime Milwaukee convention. There were voice actors.
This is why every picture you will ever take of me, my hands are like this.
Games, and costume contests.
Oh, there's a Byakuya.
Anime Milwaukee brings out a large variety of anime fans from around the Midwest in the hopes of one day being as big as Anime Central in Chicago. What started in 2007 as a 30-person gaming tournament has grown into what it is today. At the convention, one cosplayer stood out from the rest. Meet Simone from the TV series Gurren Lagann.
Thank God nipple was a little exposed.
Or better known as Kyle Starr from Kenosha.
All right, thank you. All right, let's wander.
Now in the second season, Kyle went the extra mile with his costume to make this his best showing yet.
Really, it's actually complimenting that it's like they recognize me and they like my outfit and they stop and say hello.
The Red Star was ordered online and hand-dremel.
I can see colors! Yay! I can see clearly now the red is gone.
If you go to the convention next year, you can expect to see another one of Kyle's disguises. In Milwaukee, I'm DeAndre Dawsey for Panthervision.
Anime Milwaukee is sponsored by the Japanese Animation Association. The convention has doubled in attendance each year since it started in 2007. The Brewer season is right around the corner, but Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder aren't the only ones gearing up.
And a famous composer visits campus as part of Women's History Month coming up next.
Boy, boy, it's amazing how many stars there are.
You know what's really amazing, Clell, is that recent discoveries within the Orion Nebula lend credence to the theory of a whole other solar system, predating our own, of course, the origins of which remain in microscopic gaseous form, thus increasing the chances of our not being alone.
Let's see.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Forget March Madness, spring is in the air.
And that means baseball. Eddie Hamilton is here with our Panther Sports Update.
Thanks, Megan. Baseball may be here, but we're going to start with tennis. The Lady Panthers tennis team had an up-and-down weekend, but as Paley Tennis Center on Saturday, the Lady Panthers fell 7-0 to UIC. The Panthers would bounce back on Sunday morning when they flipped the script against Valparaiso, defeating the Crusaders 7-0. The tennis team will be traveling to Ohio next weekend to take on Youngstown State and Cleveland State. The UWM baseball team planned on playing 4 games this weekend in Manhattan, Kansas against Kansas State, but it didn't turn out that way. The snowstorm on Friday cut the trip short. The teams did, however, get 2 games on Friday before the snowstorm. The Panthers were shut out in the first game, losing 4-0. Junior pitcher Chad Pierce led the Panthers to a 1-0 lead in the second game, but Kansas State tied it up in the bottom of the 8th inning before winning the game in the 9th inning with a walk-off single. The team will be in Northern Illinois on Wednesday before traveling to UIC this weekend for a 3-game series. There's another UWM team taken to the diamond, but as Kyle Warnke reports, these 8 UWM students aren't baseball players.
When class is finished, there's a lot left for students to do. There's homework to catch up on, lists to be completed, and lunch to be eaten.
Thank you.
But for students Michelle Molitor and Kelsey Krieger, well, that's when the real work begins for these girls. 8 students on a team of 29. 8 dancers with different futures.
I am a communications major.
Kinesiology major. An accounting major and a finance major.
Actuarial science major.
A major in architecture with minors in Spanish and art history.
These girls study during the day
5, 6, 7, 8.
and practice in the afternoon.
We all dance for the UWM Panther dance team.
and then come together for yet another workout. This time for a different venue. If any of these girls look familiar, you've probably seen them before. They're members of the Milwaukee Brewers Diamond Dance Team. But juggling full-time classes and practicing for 2 different teams takes a lot of dedication.
You just, if you want it, you make it, and if you don't, obviously, you shouldn't have tried out.
With their commitment to school and the baseball season around the corner, the girls will be ready for any curveballs thrown their way. In Brookfield, I'm Kyle Warnke for Panthervision.
The Diamond Dancers perform at every Friday home game in the beginning of the season. They also perform at every Saturday home game in the summer. Well, that's it for Panther Sports. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Eddie. I bet those girls are excited for the opening day ceremony.
Yeah, definitely. They perform on Friday, so I wonder if the opening day is on Friday. Do you know?
I think it's usually a Monday, so
Okay.
we'll see. Maybe it's a special event.
People of all ages are discussing a new species that is making Lake Michigan home. As Panthervision's Lindsay Mitchell reports, there is a new creature in town.
From storms to shipwrecks, the science big event Muscle Beach at UWM was a sight to be seen. Young and old watched intently as 2 scientists from the Great Lakes Water Institute, Carmen and Russell, discussed the exotic species that has made itself at home in Lake Michigan.
First of all, I want to introduce you again to our old friend, which is our zebra mussel.
From zebra to quagga, Carmen and Russell were enthusiastic about mussels, and so were the eager volunteers. Volunteers assisted the scientists in demonstrations like mussel counting and mussel crushing. Unique props also added to the excitement. With video footage from Lake Michigan and interactive activities, the Science Bag was a huge success. But the crowd favorite wasn't something that was in plain sight. It was something hidden under the deep depths of the ocean. A sunken vessel covered with mussels. The highlight of the show was when Russell's underwater camera discovered the sunken ship. The Science Bag events are known for their unique approach to learning, which is why UWM student Kathy Stokebrand keeps coming back for more.
It's local, it's free, it's fascinating, and it's always grounded in something that is very much part of our worlds.
Free, educational, and fun. This was the Science Bag event in a nutshell. Or should I say, muscle shell. In Milwaukee, I'm Lindsay Mitchell for Panthervision.
The next Science Bag Learning event will be held on Friday, March 26th at 8 p.m. It will be held in room 137 of the Physics Building.
Students of the UWM Symphony Orchestra welcomed a special guest during the rehearsal on Thursday. Grammy Award-winning composer Libby Larson observed as the symphony performed one of her many works, Overture for the End of the Century. Libby then challenged the students to apply their musical capabilities by working through various passages. Libby has composed more than 400 works in virtually every genre, from vocal and chamber music to orchestral works and operas. Her 3-day visit in Milwaukee was part of the Women Composer Festival in celebration of Women's History Month.
What an honor for the students to hear that.
Definitely, and what a cool thing for Libby to hear the students playing one of her works.
I would love to have heard that. Well, thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of Panthervision.
We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the UWM Symphony Orchestra.